Welcome, welcome. I hope this finds you well on this lovely day. So today, I hope you have a tea or a warm beverage to drink and enjoy during this little chat. See if I can see you guys. Yes. All right. What have you got? Just gonna make a nice little red tea to begin, to warm. Red tea being different from black tea. Red tea generally being more warming in nature, like builder's tea, and black tea being perhaps cooling or neutral. Quite a different thing. Of the 7 types of tea, or 6 depending on your preference of categorization: red tea, black tea, white tea, yellow tea, green tea, oolong, and then pu'er. Pu'er being shou or sheng. And so with this, what I'm doing is I'm just taking a moment to be present with the kettle, with the bowl, with the leaves, with the pot. Listening. Observing the steam as it rises. Acknowledging this beautiful leaf, this beautiful beverage, originally a medicine. And when I've poured it, when I've served myself, I'll stay with the bowl. Unless I'm drinking it more casually, but staying with it, connected with it. Noticing the flavors, being present. Whatever drink it is that you're drinking right now, that you're enjoying, just being in the moment, practicing mindfulness, and knowing that this isn't just about the moment, it isn't just about the thing, it's about how this affects us for later, for communication with friends and family, and also the internal communication within as we receive information, as how we process, filter, or accept, or interesting information. Filter's a good word. And how different that is from just being lost in a sea of stuff. feeling my body settle, feeling my body breathe, observing greater relaxation in certain areas as my stomach starts to relax more. Behind the ears, around here as the head relaxes. How a simple, everyday, many times a day occurrence like drinking a tea can actually be some sort of really deep nourishing experience for the hormonal system, for the nervous system, for the immune system. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drink one more bowl, and then what I'm going to do is briefly just dive into chaga, reishi and lion's mane again, these beautiful mushrooms that can be made into teas, just to refresh, and because they're very timely. They're very, very timely right now. Whether it's for the calming nature of these beautiful teas or the potential medicinal properties. Very timely, very timely. Just burning a little bit of sage, keep the air clear. It's nice. I don't know if you use sage or Palo Santo at home, but they're have a little Google. Palo Santo or sage for cleaning air, cleaning energy, covering up unwanted smells. Or I should say cleaning rather than covering. And drinking from the bowl like you would water out of a stream. Being present. Just noticing stillness. Through quite a few years of meditation and tea meditation and tea drinking, and it's really fascinating to observe. It's kind of an irony in itself, but like observing an okayness with silence within the head, like being with someone, looking at them, and like really feeling and being in stillness. And through the practice of the mind wandering and bringing it back, or mindfulness practices, whatever that might be for you, being still with another human, with another being. And the more still the mind is, the more still the body is. And I use this a lot, this little metaphor, is if we cut our hand or any part of the body, it will, left alone, just heal itself. The more still the mind is, the more we can allow the body to naturally do what it knows innately how to do. So, I was thinking earlier about my first experience with reishi, and medicinal mushroom, thousands of years use, loads of information on the site, the studies, the immune support studies, the immune modulation, the calming nature, the Shen tonic, the heart opening. And that was one of the things I was reflecting on, is two specific callings from this beautiful mushroom. One, the very first time, and again it was when I moved to Los Angeles that I was really, I guess, thrown in at the deep end. And I was at there's a little art exhibition, a tea art exhibition actually, and a couple of guys, one I think was a chocolate maker, or is. I'm just putting some cacao on this actually now as well. And I think I was actually leaving, rather than having been seduced outside, I was leaving the gallery, and there were these two guys that I knew that were in there, were stood by the car, putting something like these drops in their mouth. And at that time, like I didn't know, I knew about fitness and health, and I was like lifting weights and into food and nutrition, a PT, but I didn't know too much about Chinese medicine or tea as medicine or medicinal mushrooms. And I looked at them and I was like, what are those guys doing? To me it looked like they were like, I don't know, on some sort of acid experience, or about to embark on some sort of hallucinogenic trip. Not that that's right or wrong either. And they said to me, do you want some? Do you want some of this? And it's reishi. And I had no idea what that word meant or what was going on there. I just thought, ooh, drug users. And so I kindly declined. I was like, you know what? I'm all right, but I will have a look into it. And in hindsight, you can kind of like backtrack over different messages that came from people, or just complete inane coincidences. I don't know, but assuming that was like a little message from Reishi to me, I was like, these guys look suspicious. Turns out it was reishi mushroom, this in my own opinion completely miraculous mushroom that's just profound potential for humans, immune support, heart opening, and like the heart opening nature, the Shen tonic nature. I'm kind of crudely linking heart opening to Shen tonic. Was when I met Jay and Joy in Los Angeles, the Jing Slingers, who I highly recommend you check out. They kind of pulled me in and just dumped information into my brain and put me on mats and did tests. And this one experience, we're doing some like videoing and some interviews and things, and Jay made me this tonic that was heavily reishi based, because during that day I was a bit intense, I was a bit antsy, and he made this thing up and mixed it all up, and he goes, here, drink this, try this. And it was different Chinese herbs, different Eastern medicine herbs, and there was some chocolate in there too, like I'm using cacao here. And he put me on camera, and the video's somewhere. And he sort of said, how do you feel? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, like nothing really. Nothing. Literally a few seconds later, boom, something kicked in, something moved, whether it was the energy and the medicine of the mushroom and the food going in, or moving something within me, moving a blockage or alleviating something, I don't know. But my whole solar plexus, heart chakra area just went poof, wide open. My mouth opened, and I just talked and talked and talked. And you know, when you get into these teas and these foods and plants and through a little bits of research and personal experience, there's certain foods and teas that will speak to you more than others. And this one really, really spoke to me. And even the words, the food or tea spoke to me, could sound most, I mean, look at this hair. Look at this, my plants and the tea and the altar. It can sound so ridiculous to many people, but like when we have a high sugar food, it goes in, it communicates with the pancreas, the liver, the stomach, the gut, the brain. These teas and mushrooms, they also have their way, their means of communicating with the human being. And the more you get into them, the more, for me, the more peaceful life is, the more fascinating human experience is, the more fascinating it is to observe our actions as humans, as beings, as a collective. The more interesting it is to look at nature. And even without these things, just like creating more stillness in my being, settling my mind, settling my nervous system, the way I can observe and be in a group, with a group of people, whether it's speaking to them or listening to them, whether it's looking at a tree or seeing the river go by, knowing that the river as it passes is never the same river. It's ever changing. Just there's these little kind of shifts, these dumps of information, and then the waves of, like, perhaps it's pain being released or stagnation being moved within the being to allow for a deeper connection with other humans or human experience. And it really does shift the journey. And I do remember that one beverage with Jay, and it wasn't like psilocybin, it wasn't any kind of psychoactive, there was no psychoactive ingredients, it's just foods that you can buy. They just seem to have this profound effect on the human heart, the human being, the digestive system. And then again, I say this a lot, it's like if you look on the site, on the ENRICHD, I've listed the studies there. There's a load of scientific studies on these mushrooms for their actions within the body, on certain organs, on certain quote unquote illnesses. It's really, there's a real depth of ancient medicine, ancient wisdom, ancient practice, and then modern. So fascinating, so beautiful. Reishi is kind of a bitter tasting mushroom. It doesn't taste mushroomy at all. Like, for me, if I think of what I perceive mushroom to taste like, and then how reishi is when it touches my taste buds, I'll just drink some again on its own and describe it to you. You notice I didn't put the wet end of the spoon in. I've had a few emails from customers saying, Rich, the reishi of the lion's mane's so clumpy. And I'm like, well, hang on, did you put the wet spoon back in the... Yeah, don't put wet spoons in dry powders. Doesn't marry for a great combo. So the smells I'm getting off that, it's kind of brothy, almost savoury. Bitter, astringent, but like pleasantly, like someone might enjoy a black coffee or an espresso. I mean, it's intense. Reishi is an intense taste. If you want to make like a latte kind of thing out, you can use your choice of milk. You can add whatever you want to sweeten it with if you want as well. Like, really, you can play with it. I like it on its own or with cacao. and I very rarely mix other mushrooms. Now, there's nothing inherently right or wrong with mixing a lot of mushrooms. I don't, just because of conversations with certain doctors of Chinese medicine, and my own reading, and the way the studies are done, they're very rarely like a bunch of mushrooms in one. Like, it would be really easy for me to just make a mushroom mix product. Here's your 10, again, nothing wrong with that, fine, whatever. My personal choice is to mix 1, maybe 2 mushrooms with cacao, coffee on their own. Rarely I'll do it in a smoothie, but if it's a dual extract, you can put it in a cold drink as well. Fine, whatever your choice is. My personal choice is to have it in warm liquid, because the warm liquid can help deliver that to the cells too. And because of what I know and what I've experienced and how my immune system has, I believe, developed and changed over the last 7 years of experiencing medicinal mushrooms, I'm also getting this, my thought process is, here's my medicine, here's my calming tonic, here's my future-proofing anti-cancer beverage, this is my thought process, here's my longevity tonic, here's my beverage of immortality, here's my heart-opening Shen tonic, here's my drink that allows me to connect with other humans more. I just like diving deep into all of the spectrum, the traditional wisdom, the studies, the placebo, the personal experience, the people that I know that drink these kind of drinks, and the conversations that we have about personal experience. I just kind of compound it all into one. And then I drink it down. I'll often drink this one after an event, or after doing a talk, or after a gig, knowing that when I'm doing any of those kind of activities, that my nervous system will be like wrapped up. I'll be excited. I'll have been either perhaps pushing physically, emotionally giving, or maybe it was like over a long period of time. And so I'll drink these, and there's been certain occasions when I've physically felt my energy move from kind of here to here, like down, grounding, rooting, from busy activity, like good activity, good busyness, to grounding, calming, soothing, stillness. And in terms of like the growing conditions, mine are always, my ratio is always dual extract, so both the water and the alcohol soluble compounds. Wood grown, because it's a wood a tree mushroom, so there's a symbiosis between the tree, the wood, and the mushroom. Like growing a lettuce in like malnourished soil versus growing a lettuce in a healthy soil. That's how I think about the growing of the mushrooms as well. Beautiful. I kind of rambled on a lot about reishi there, didn't I? Nice. Any questions? I'm going to pull you in a little bit and try not to catch fire. Hello. Any questions there? Fascinating. There you go. Hello everybody. There you go. Brett's having chaga with a hint of reishi spores. Nice. Mr. Miyagi's there. Welcome. You know what? Let's do this. Rather than spending the next 3 hours on all these kind of mushrooms, let's just close our eyes for a second. And we're going to do like 2 or 3 minutes just meditating. So breathing through the nose. Allowing your body to breathe. Focusing your attention on the breath. And the mind wanders, you just bring your attention back to the breath. Just taking a moment to calm the mind before you go on to do whatever it is you're about to do. Following the breath in your own time, and out. Allowing yourself a few moments of stillness before you go and do whatever it is that's about to happen after this. Taking a moment of peace, a moment of stillness with you. Feeling your body calm. Feeling yourself still. Recalibrating a sloppy mind. Following the breath in and out. It's amazing how quickly 30 minutes can fly. Another interesting thing is to, and I do this often, is not catch fire, is to notice how you feel when you drink these teas, mushroom powders, whatever it is, or foods, or whatever it is, noticing, tuning into the sensations during and then after. I know that it's never necessarily just one thing, that there's a combination of things, like just the fact of sitting down and observing breath, or sitting and observing a bowl, that can be very stilling for the mind and soul. And then also when you add these things in is the expression from within, and then how you go about afterwards and how it varies. Like drinking 2 tablespoons of sugar water versus just warm water, or a tea, for example. It's quite a profound difference within the human body. And I invite you to just tune in a little deeper to those sensations. So, all right, I'm going to be on tonight again at 9:30, showing a little meditation. I hope you've enjoyed that and found a few moments of stillness. And I urge you to drink tea.